Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Walk with Raya. I hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. I literally just am obsessed with walking with friends. And that's like my way to catch up with people. So that is why I started doing this segment on my channel, to be able to walk with more people. Like, how good is that? I just love it. Hope you enjoyed my episode last week about just ways to increase the fulfillment and joy of a relationship. Or things that I think we just underestimate the effectiveness of. They're like simple terms that I used to describe on like things that we can actually start implementing into our relationships to make them better and to make our whole health thrive, because healthy relationships equals a healthy life. So I hope you guys enjoyed my episode on that last time. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you go and check it out and let me know what you think. I would love to get your guys' comments and feedback, so make sure that as you're walking along you can comment or whatever on this video and join in the conversation and let me know what you think of the topics I talk about, because conversation goes two ways. And also make sure you have subscribed to my channel just so you don't miss out on these weekly episodes that I do post. I usually post these walking segment videos often, and then also some other like health, fitness, wellness, well-being, faith kind of content around all that as well. So I'm so glad you're here today. There's my dogs. Tilly, say hello. Say hello to everyone. She was weeing. She's a girl and she started weeing like a boy for some reason, which is really weird. Like, she puts her leg up like a boy dog. Anyway, strange. I won't judge you though, Tilly. You do you, boo. You do you. So today I really wanted to talk about, so I've talked about binge eating, I think in my first or second episode of this segment. So if you're interested in hearing about that, make sure you go back and check it out. But I just wanted to, I guess, speak a little bit on that and about the benefits of good quality dopamine so that you can, I guess, avoid or decrease the amount of binge eating episodes you have if you're someone who struggles with that, or if you know someone who does and you want to be able to help them, make sure you share this with them. Because I really do think that in this day and age, it's so easy for us to get like a false sense of dopamine, or a dopamine that we don't have to actually work for, which then makes it, I guess, not as fulfilling. It's like when you buy something that's really cheap, right? And you think, oh, I'm going to get this really cheap version that's made in some other country instead of paying good bucks for the real thing. And then you just find it breaks. You just find it's kind of like not worth any of the money you spent, and you kind of just have to throw it in the bin. It's kind of like that. And then you wish, oh, I wish I just had spent the bigger dollars on the better item, the better quality item, and then it wouldn't have broken, or it would have been just a lot more enjoyable to have. I think of dopamine in that exact same way. Dopamine is such a great hormone. So those of you who don't know much about dopamine, it is a hormone that's released, and it's like a feel-good, happy hormone, right? So when you're doing something you really love, it's like, and you just feel like so excited, you just want to jump up and down. It's like that, the release of dopamine. And it actually drives us. It gives us drive. It gives us motivation to get things done. And it gives us, I guess, also the motivation to achieve things. So it's actually really important. But in this day and age, now that we know all the science behind it, there's a lot of companies and things like that have jumped on board to create something for us to, I guess, consume in some way that gives us so much dopamine that we just want to keep going back for more. But it's a cheap sense of dopamine where we have to keep going back for more and more and more, because it doesn't last that long and it's not as effective. So we just want to keep getting the hit over and over and over again. So this is things like, say, even television. So they've really calculated the, I guess, science behind how to get us to be really like addicted to TV or to like movies and things like that. They've done a really good job to be able to create things that we just like, it's just like a cheap dopamine. We just can sit in front of it. We just watch episode after episode after episode after episode. The screen, like all these things are happening on the screen to like keep our attention focused on it without us even knowing. Like, it's, to be honest, it's a little bit scary how well they're doing with that. And you can just look around the world, just look around at everyone, and you realize how much those companies are really succeeding in that way. But it's really not like, since that we don't have to work for it. So dopamine is most effective when we have to work for it. So when we really have to work hard for that dopamine, it is so much more effective, it's so much longer lasting, and it's so much more fulfilling for us. So instead of having like TV or like another cheap sense of dopamine is like sugary food or just like crappy food, then we just love for some reason, even though we know it's not that great for us. And then we just want to keep going back for more and more and more. Like nothing seems to quench the thirst. It like makes us thirstier and hungrier for more instead of feeling like we're satisfied. And we don't have to really work for that, right? We just line up through the KFC drive-through. You don't have to really do anything. You just have to pay the money for it and then eat it, and then you just want more a little bit later. So things that we really have to work for, I think, are definitely more longer lasting and more effective, and they're really going to make our life feel more complete, more satisfying, more enjoyable, and even we're going to feel more like successful, like we've really achieved something when we really have to work for it. So that could be things like, you know, cooking a nice healthy meal. Like that takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy. And then when you get to eat like that really nice home cooked stew or whatever it is that you've spent a lot of time preparing, you really enjoy it and like savor it more. And then obviously it seems to satisfy us physically also for a longer amount of time. So instead of it just like us being hungry a little bit later, we can actually feel more satisfied for longer. Another thing can be like going for a run or a walk, right? So you have to work for that. But then the feeling of dopamine afterwards, like you've achieved something you didn't think you were able to. And it's like, it's long lasting. You just feel like you're on top of the world. You feel like you're unstoppable, and you don't need to keep going back for like the little cheap fixes because it's the real deal. So the reason why I really wanted to talk about this alongside of binge eating is because I think oftentimes the reason why we want to binge eat is usually because we haven't had some really good quality dopamine for a while. So our body's just after whatever it can get. It's after the scraps on the floor, you know, it's after just something that's so easy to get because your body, you just need something to feel satisfied and to complete you in that moment. And so oftentimes, I know from personal experience with me, the times that I've binge eaten in the past, had binge eating episodes, is when I haven't really been doing things that really make me feel like I'm achieving much. I haven't really had great habits at that time in my life. I didn't really have like other outlets to go to help make me feel filled again and alive again. And so food was the thing that I opted for. And it was usually just like a lot of food at once. Because as I said, when it's like that cheap kind of dopamine, you just want more and more and more, like nothing seems to actually hit the spot. And so I know a lot of the times back in the day when like there was other reasons too, like, you know, loneliness, there was a lot of like other mental health kind of things going on at the same time as well. So I'm not saying this is the only reason that people binge eat, but it definitely is one of the main reasons that I think people do. And yeah, just literally just actually finding an outlet to fill me and make me feel like I'm achieving things has really helped me to overcome binge eating. Like I have not had a binge eating episode in, I would say, like almost 3 years. Like I would say I'm healed. I really would say I am. Hasn't been one time where I've just sat there and uncontrollably ate in 3 years, and I just can't see myself ever doing it again. You know, I have so many healthy outlets now where I can really like feel alive and feel accomplished, and so I don't feel the need to sit there and to eat my way to happiness, if that makes sense, or like to numb the pain. Like have other ways to, I guess, like when I notice my mental health getting low, like have other ways to, like other strategies to implement to help me to get through that stage that doesn't involve sitting there just eating like uncontrollable amounts of food. So I really hope that this helps you guys. Like I think that some action points we can put into place. Number one, if you're really struggling with binge eating, I would definitely recommend seeing a counselor or a psychologist, someone who really has a lot of experience in dealing and specializing in eating disorders and mental health, because I just think that that's the first thing that would, like, you're not alone, and going to see someone, that will let you know you're not alone. So many people are struggling in this area, so it's not something to be ashamed of. But, you know, asking for help is always a great thing. So definitely start there, but also some little strategies that you can start at home by yourself is to think, okay, what are some activities I'm going to start partaking in that really give me a good sense of healthy, long-lasting dopamine? Try and fit those into your schedule. Like each day, try and do something that you know is actually going to bring you give you long lasting dopamine hit, and something that's just going to make you feel like you're achieving things and you're successful. And you know, it could be little things like, even things like making the bed in the morning. Like it literally could be as simple as those little daily tasks. And then it could also be some bigger ones too, like scheduling a workout in, you know, a few times a week, or scheduling a nice coffee and walk with a girlfriend once a week. You know, like there's things that we can really schedule in and plan ahead in advance to help us to be, I guess, like a cup to be filled more often, more often than not. And also thinking of some other action points would be thinking of some things you can implement so that when you are feeling down, you can actually do those things to bring your overall mental health and well-being up again, before it gets so low that, like, you know, you just need to sit there and just eat feelings away, or whatever other I guess unhealthy or negative outlet you opt for when you're feeling so low. So what are some ways that you can keep your cup more filled without it fully getting drained? Because that's often when we can opt for those like cheap sense of dopamine hits, because we just need to find the scraps, you know what I mean? So I just think there's some action points we can definitely implement in our lives. And if you do have someone who knows struggling in this area, definitely share this with them in hopes that it can be an encouragement, because they need to know they're not alone. They need to know that there is help out there. They also need to know that there are some things that they can do, maybe with help or even just on their own, to be able to reduce like those kind of episodes, and yeah, just be on your way to a healthier and happier lifestyle, because that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I want to help people to achieve, like their optimal health. Like optimal health for everyone looks different. The strategies will look different for every single person as well, but it is possible for us to all walk in that full, like complete health and well-being, kind of like, just where each day, no matter what happens, you can still have joy. Each day, no matter what happens, you're still in control of like the decisions that you make, and you can still increase and I guess enhance the quality of your life with the decisions that daily decisions that you make and the habits that you create. So I'm here for you guys. If you need any help, please make sure that you message me on any of my platforms. I can even like refer you to other health kind of specialists that I think could be good for you. So just let me know, because I know it can be sometimes confusing and overwhelming. And yeah, I just want to make health easier and more achievable for people. So that's what I'm here for. And yeah, just make sure that you like this video, let me know what you think, and also subscribe to my channel. I shall see you next time. Have an amazing day. Bye.